So, for my case study topic, I had chosen to do research over why professional athletes and their wages and how they're getting paid way too much. Mainly about the NFL and the NBA and the MLB are the ones that I focused on the most. And the original reason that I chose to do this and started doing research over it because I was watching football on Sunday and we were watching the Packers play and everyone hypes up Aaron Rodgers and they always give his stats all throughout the game, and I wanted to see how much he made because he's always the main man on the field. I know he's the quarterback, but they don't really mention a lot of other people. And so I looked around, and he made $20 million a year, which is a lot, obviously. And so after I looked more into this, I started looking at other players and seeing how much they got paid. So this soon got me looking into more of the NBA and the MLB too. So one thing I mentioned in my paper that goes off this topic, but it's how college athletes don't have to have a diploma to even go into the pros. And I think they should finish college first and get the experience that they need and make sure that they're way ready before they go into it and have to handle all that money with being in the pros. And this goes for high school students too, looking forward and going straight into the pros and to skip college. I believe that all professional athletes are way overpaid as it is, and there is so much money going into it that no one really knows how much money there is going into it. And there's numbers are always in the millions with how many people are getting paid and for how much they're getting paid, and even the minimum is still more than your average doctor. And that brings me to talk about your common jobs of being a doctor or being a teacher, and then shows that they should be getting more money than what they do now. Teachers and doctors put in as much time and effort in helping their students and patients. I'm not saying that professional athletes don't put in the hard work, because they do. It's just and I know getting into the pros is an easy task, but there's some unfairness in the job wages that they have. If the pay of professional athletes was lowered, I think that people would not be very happy, and for the athletes, of course, but for people that have the lower wages, they feel more better about themselves for how much they make because they don't make as much as they do, and then they would be more in their status of a person. And but then that could lead to something like strikes that the players would start. I think this issue is just going to keep getting worse in our society. Athletes keep getting better, and they keep seeing bigger and bigger names out there. So money's just going to keep going up and up, and people are going to start getting paid more. I stand for professional teams and athletes just there for entertainment. You aren't learning anything from them, and they aren't teaching you anything by watching them. And so many people spend loads and loads of money that go into these games. And, if these players are going to be getting paid this much money, then there needs to be a say of being a role model for your team, or even for younger athletes, because there's so much advertisement and things that go out in video games or commercials that young kids see that and they're oh, he's my favorite player, I want to be like him. And so if these athletes want to keep being paid this amount of money and to keep the image that they portray in the world of professional sports, they should keep demonstrating to the public and how they are going to keep showing themselves to be role models for people who watch them and for younger athletes wanting to be like them. And I am not personally in sports and recreational management field because that's not my major, but doing this paper and researching lots of different things about this topic had made me think more into what some professional sports hide from the public and what different things could be done about it.